final bell rang at Riverside Elementary, echoing through long, quiet corridors that smelled faintly of chalk and floor polish. The laughter of children faded outside, replaced by the whisper of wind brushing through open windows. Inside Class 3B, Mr. Ethan Ward, the literature teacher, sat alone at his desk. His tie was loosened, his sleeves rolled up, and his pen scratched steadily over essays. The classroom light flickered softly above him, one of those old bulbs the school could never afford to replace. He sighed, rubbing his tired eyes. His day had started at dawn, taking the bus across town because his old car had finally given up last week. His rent was late again, but even with all that weighing on him, there was warmth in his expression. He read aloud from a student's essay, smiling faintly. "Happiness," she wrote in crooked handwriting, "is when someone notices you're sad. Even if you didn't say it," Ethan murmured. "That's pretty wise for an 8-year-old. As he stacked the papers neatly, a soft sound interrupted the silence, a faint sob from somewhere down the hallway. He froze, listening. It wasn't loud, but it carried the fragile tone of a child trying hard not to cry. Ethan rose from his chair, following the sound. His shoes squeaked on the linoleum floor as he turned the corner and found a little girl sitting on the bench beside the lockers. Her hair was tangled, her backpack nearly falling open, and her knees were pulled close to her chest. "Hey," he said gently, lowering his voice so it wouldn't startle her. "You okay, sweetheart?" The girl looked up, her tear-streaked cheeks pink from crying. She quickly shook her head. "No, I lost something." Ethan crouched down so they were eye level. "What did you lose?" She sniffled. "My bracelet. It was Mommy's. Daddy said I should take care of it. But now it's gone and he'll be sad again." Something in her voice hit Ethan deep in the chest. There was so much fear in her tiny words, as if she carried the weight of someone much older. "Well," he said softly, "lucky for you, I'm an excellent finder of lost treasures." Her lips trembled into a shy smile. "You are?" He nodded solemnly. "The best. I once found a kid's missing shoe inside the ceiling fan. True story." The girl giggled faintly, a small shy laugh that made Ethan grin. "Okay," he said, "let's find that bracelet." Together they retraced her steps in the classroom, the hall, the playground. The evening sun was dipping low, painting the world in orange and gold. Just when the light began to fade, something sparkled near the swing set. Ethan jogged over and picked it up, a delicate golden bracelet with a tiny heart-shaped charm. "Found it," he called. The girl gasped and ran over, her pigtails bouncing. "You found Mommy's bracelet." He handed it to her carefully as though it were made of glass. "There you go, treasure hunter." She looked up at him, her big brown eyes filled with relief. "Thank you, Mr. Ward," he said with a smile. "But you can just call me Ethan." "I'm Lily," she said proudly. "Lily Grant," he nodded. "Nice to meet you, Lily. You know, that bracelet must be pretty special." She hugged it to her chest. "Mommy gave it to me before she went to heaven." Ethan froze, then placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Then it's even more special," she nodded. "Daddy says people don't do things for free, but you helped me anyway." Ethan smiled, though something heavy stirred in his heart. Sometimes the best things in life are the ones we do just to make someone smile. Moments later, a sleek black car pulled up beside the school gates. A driver in a suit hurried out and opened the door. A tall man stepped out, late 30s, dressed in an immaculate gray suit, every line of him controlled and precise. His expression softened immediately when he saw Lily. "Lily," he called, striding toward her. "You scared me half to death." "Daddy!" she shouted, running into his arms. Ethan watched, smiling faintly, until he noticed the man looking at him. Lily tugged her father's sleeve. "Daddy, this is Mr. Ethan. He found Mommy's bracelet." The man turned, extending a hand. "I'm Adrian Grant. Thank you, Mr. Ward, that bracelet. It meant the world to her mother." Ethan shook his hand. "She's a wonderful kid, sir. I'm glad I could help." Adrian looked at him for a moment, a quiet, assessing gaze, and then smiled faintly. Not many people would have stayed to help a stranger's child. "It wasn't a big deal," Ethan said, but the way Adrian's eyes softened said he thought otherwise. When the car drove off, Ethan stood watching the taillights disappear into the golden dusk, completely unaware that the man he'd just helped was one of the city's most powerful CEOs, and even less aware that his life had just quietly changed. Monday morning came with gray skies and drizzle. Ethan stood at the whiteboard, scribbling a quote from To Kill a Mockingbird. You never really understand a person until you climb into his skin and walk around in it. He turned to his students. So what do you think Harper Lee meant by that? The class buzzed with half-hearted answers until the classroom door opened. The principal peeked in, her face flushed. Mr. Ward, could I borrow you for a moment? You have a visitor. Ethan blinked. A visitor? When he stepped into the hall, he froze. Standing there, umbrella in hand, rain on his tailored coat, was Adrian Grant, the same man from the school gates. But today he wasn't just a father. He looked like the cover of a business magazine, composed, sharp, and commanding. Mr. Ward, he said with a polite nod, I hope I'm not interrupting your class. Ethan cleared his throat. Not at all, Mr. Grant. How's Lily? Adrian's expression softened instantly. Better. She's been talking about you all weekend. Ethan smiled faintly. She's a great kid. Adrian paused, then looked him directly in the eye. She lost her mother last year. It's been hard for her. She doesn't open up to anyone. But when she came home that evening, laughing, telling me how you helped her, it was the first time I'd seen her truly smile in months. Ethan's throat tightened. I'm really glad she's doing better. Adrian stepped closer. You did more than find a bracelet, Mr. Ward. You gave my daughter something I couldn't buy with all my wealth. Kindness. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a sleek envelope. I run a private education foundation. We're opening a new scholarship program for underprivileged kids. I want someone like you to lead it. Ethan's eyes widened. Sir, I don't know what to say. I'm not. You're exactly what we need. Adrian interrupted gently. You see, kids, you listen. That's rarer than you think. He extended the envelope. Think about it. Lily would be thrilled to see you again. Ethan hesitated, then accepted it. Thank you. I mean that. Adrian gave a rare smile. No, Mr. Ward, thank you. For reminding me that even the smallest act of kindness can reach farther than we imagine. Just as he turned to go, a small figure peeked from behind his leg. Mr. Ethan. Lily beamed, clutching her little umbrella. I told Daddy you were the nicest teacher ever. Ethan chuckled. Still taking care of that bracelet? She nodded proudly. Always. Then she tilted her head. Daddy says you might come work with us. Will you? Ethan smiled warmly. Maybe. If they let me have extra recess breaks. Lily giggled. And Adrian's stoic face softened with quiet gratitude. As they walked away down the corridor, Ethan stood by the classroom door, the envelope in his hand. He opened it later and found not just an offer letter, but a handwritten note in Lily's uneven scrawl. Thank you for helping me smile again. Mommy would have liked you. And for the first time in a long time, Ethan felt that maybe, just maybe, life had noticed him back.